Good afternoon, everyone. We're having technical difficulties. The judge will be on shortly.
All right. Courtroom 2, can you hear me?
Barely, Judge.
No.
It's really low.
I think this is low.
Oh, maybe it could be our volume. Let's see.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we can hear you, Judge.
All right, great. I'm glad because we've unfortunately had to relocate courtrooms, so I do apologize for the delay. But let's get started. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Lal, and this is the Fulton State Expedited Accusation Calendar. This is a calendar in which individuals have been recently arrested and booked at the Fulton County Jail. Upon being booked at the jail, the Solicitor General's office has formally accused the defendant with misdemeanor charge or charges. So this would be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judicial officer. During this time, I will be advising the defendant of their rights, as well as your formal case number, the charges brought against you, who is your appointed counsel, as well as set a bond for you, or perhaps modify the bond that is already in place. Please remember that if you are charged with a misdemeanor offense or offenses, that you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say during the course of this virtual recorded proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, we have counsel from the Public Defender's Office and the conflict defense list to represent you. Who do we have in courtroom 2?
Good afternoon, Judge Law. This is position 12, Mr. Roberts, and we also have his grandmother in the back.
Okay, all right. Let's deal with Mr. Roberts first. Michael Roberts is case number 22 CR 005-685D. Mr. Roberts is accused of possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under the age of 18 and violation of rules regarding pedestrian and roadway. This is from an incident from yesterday, August 24th. All right, Mr. Tucson, any priors?
No.
All right. And Ms. Bacchus, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Seems I'm seeing
Your
you
Honor.
guys pretty often this week. We need to stop meeting like this. Okay.
I'm sorry
All
to
right, Ms.
interrupt you,
Bacchus, what
but
is the recommendation for Mr. Roberts?
Your
The
Honor,
recommendation,
I'm sorry, Ms. Kim, yes?
I apologize for interruption, but this is a conflict case, and I believe that conflict attorney is not on the screen yet.
Are
okay.
we expecting one?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, conflict has not even had a chance to speak to Mr. Roberts. All right, let me see, unmute courtroom 2. Officer Francois? All right, looks like we may have let me check first. Ms. Champion, do we have conflict counsel available for the C calendar?
I didn't receive a request for a conflict attorney. I don't know if they emailed it to Mr. Jordan, but he didn't forward me any information on the conflict needed for it to.
All right, Mr. Jordan is not available today, so if public defense has sent it to Mr. Jordan, no one's coming.
Judge Law, we did have a conflict attorney that was he spoke to Roberts, Ms. McLeod.
Oh, Ms. McLeod did? Okay, then go ahead. We need to wait for Ms. McLeod to
Okay, not a
tap
problem.
in. Ms. Champion, if you have Ms. McLeod's email or phone number, please send her the link so that we can address Mr. Roberts.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Next case, please.
Mr. Lawhorn, Ms. Lawhorn. This is
Which-
position 11, Mr. Lawhorn.
Okay.
Position 11, Lawhorn.
Ronnie Lawhorn is accused of criminal trespass from August 24th, 2022 in case number 22 CR 0056828. Mr. Lawhorn, you've been advised of your right to remain silent and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
Second arrest, 2013 trespass, dismissed.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bacchus?
Yes, Your Honor. The state in this case actually has a plea offer for today of time served and stay away from the incident location and no contact with the store attendant, Mr. Yanahue Delen. I can't pronounce the last name. I can spell it for you. I know the PD's office is not inclined to do pleas at first calendar. However, in the alternative, the state is offering then a $1,000 signature bond, no further contact, and the stay away.
All right.
Your Honor.
We will set a bond at, well, let me see first. Mr. Lawhorn, well, let me see. Ms. Kim, the state's stipulating to a $1,000 signature bond. Any objection?
I don't have any objection, Your Honor, but I never had a chance to discuss any plea offer with my client yet, Mr. Lawhorn, because this is my first time to learn about it. So.
My
he-
apologies that I
that's
didn't
okay.
read it to you.
No. Oh,
All
he-
right. Well, Mr. Lawhorn, there is a chance that if you want to plead guilty today, they are willing to give you 1 day in jail and then you'll be released. Otherwise, if you want an opportunity to challenge this case in a court of law, we will release you on a signature bond, but you have to stay away from the discount food mart. And then you'll have to wait for your court date to come back for trial. Which, do you want to discuss that with your attorney? Mr. Lawhorn? I can't hear you.
He also has a visitor here in the back too, Judge.
All right. Ms. Kim, you're gonna have to call the jail at
Yes.
22392.
Yes,
Go ahead and confer with him and see what option he wants to select. He
yes,
is
Your Honor.
eligible for the $1,000 signature bond
Yes, Your
through the
Honor.
jail. And
Yes.
I just need him to stay away from the discount food mart at 22866 Metropolitan Parkway in Southwest Atlanta, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you.
all right, let me know as soon as possible.
And they,
All right, next case, Francois, we're gonna put Mr. Lawhorn on deck right now until his attorney gives me their decision.
also, Judge Law, the screen was frozen. Who is this? The sister wants to talk on his behalf in regards to his mental health.
Francois, repeat again?
The sister wants to talk on his behalf regarding his mental health.
All right, we're not going to take a discussion of this issue in open court. This is something she can reach out to his attorney, Ms. Kim. But right now, Ms. Kim is going to talk to him. All right?
Okay, go ahead and have a seat for me over here, Mr. Lawhorn.
All right.
Position
Next,
5, Ms. Edwards.
did you say Edwards?
Yes, Edwards / Rogers.
All right, got it. Miss Ayana Edwards Rogers, case number 22 CR 005-689D, accused of DUI under the influence of alcohol and possession of an open alcohol container from traffic incident from yesterday. Miss Edwards Rogers, my name is Judge Law, and you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Miss Wanda Gann. Any priors, Mr. Howard?
4 total. She got the history of violence. They don't have any DUIs. Last arrest was 2018, hindering emergency telephone call, battery DV. 2017, simple battery dismissed. A simple battery disorderly conduct and battery DV was dismissed from 2014 out of DeKalb County.
All right, thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, as you stated, this incident did occur on August 24th, 2022, at 10980 Crab Apple Road in Roswell, and I believe that's a BP gas station. In this incident, Your Honor, the state is going to be requesting a total $4,000 surety bond. That's $3,000 for the DUI and $1,000 for the open alcohol container. In this
Okay.
case, the state has a concern about this defendant being a danger to other motorists on the road, as well as herself. Officers encountered this defendant, and based off her manifestations at the time, which included her being in the driver's seat with the car running, after exiting the vehicle, stumbling and having forgetfulness, and her inability to follow directions from the officers, as well as her inability to complete the field sobriety test, led the officers to have probable cause to conclude that this defendant was under the influence. In addition to that, this defendant did agree to the implied consent for drivers over 21, and the blood draw is pending. Officers did find an open bottle of Jose Cuervo tequila in the passenger compartment of the vehicle.
Okay, I can't tell from the warrant, was it parked in a particular place illegally, or was it just parked and?
At the gas station, appeared to be sleeping with the car running.
Well, yeah, probably to get the air conditioning moving. Okay. All right, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Ayana Rogers Edwards is 32 years old. She was born in Michigan, but she relocated to Atlanta in 2012 to pursue to enroll in college. Your Honor, she was enrolled at that time at Georgia State. She majored in business administration. She had a GPA of 3.5, and she is one semester away from obtaining the degree, Your Honor. She recently obtained a certificate and a property casualty license, and basically she's very proud of this accomplishment. She earned that credential in June of 22. She began playing chess since she was age 5, and she is currently employed in the Macy's credit department. She started that job 1 month ago, and she also works part-time DoorDash. She has been doing that since 2017. She tells me that her finances are very tight at this time. She does not have anyone to help her with bonds. She denies the allegations. And if I just may provide a little background about her typical day, because her position is that she was very tired and exhausted that day, and the warrant shows that she was quite cooperative. My client tells me that she wakes up at 8 o'clock in the morning to commute to work. That commute is about an hour and a half. She gets to work around 9:30. She gets off at 6:30. Then she goes on to do DoorDash. She typically works DoorDash 7 days a week. And of course at Macy's for 5 days a week. She's at DoorDash 7 days a week. So at least 5 of the 7 days she has very long days. And she tells me that on this particular day that she was just very exhausted. And she states that after she finishes her DoorDash run, she goes to Kroger's to get groceries the next day. So basically, Your Honor, she tells me that she was very exhausted. We did not hear anything about any prior DUIs. These violence offenses against her were dismissed. We have an open case. She is presumed innocent in that case, and in this case as well. She does meet criteria for a signature bond, and the last thing that she basically wants to for me to express to this court is that if she's unable to receive a signature bond, she will lose her job. She cannot afford to get her car out of impound. She just doesn't have anyone to help her. And in addition, she's also helping a friend to basically take care of a 5-year-old daughter. So for these reasons, Your Honor, I'm requesting a signature bond on Ms. Rogers' behalf. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may, I forgot to include the rest of our bond recommendation in my recitation. So in addition to that $4,000 surety, we're going to be asking for no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no driving. And just to speak to defense's point about her being tired in this instance, once she was awakened, she was asked several times to complete field sobriety, and when it was
Yes,
unable
Ms.
to do so.
Duncan, I've read the whole warrant, so I have a gauge of what the situation is.
I
So,
understand that was my last word. I just want to
yeah.
make sure I had our whole recommendation on the record.
Understood. On
And
the
Your Honor, if
DUI, let's say that's going to be $1,000 surety. On the possession of open alcohol container, that's going to be a $2,000 signature bond for pretrial. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. And driving only if permitted by the Department of Driver Services. Ms. Edward Rogers, you're going to have to go through file an appeal with the Department of Driver Services to make sure that your driving privileges continues. Being in a parked vehicle that is still running under the circumstances always attracts a police officer situation. So you may want to be mindful of your activities and in this circumstance. It's a very unfortunate circumstance, but considering the recitation in the warrant, there is sufficient information for probable cause. $3,000 split bond. Next court date is Ms. Holly.
Yes, it's gonna be
September 8th.
September the 8th.
Okay,
September the 8th.
got it. Thank you. Next court date,
Mhm.
September 8th. If Miss Edward Rogers makes bond, then she needs to make sure that we have a current address on her so that we can send her notice of her next court date. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge Law, real quick for the bond amount, the DUI was $1,000 good bond and the driving was the 2,000 SOB through pretrial, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have position 4, Cummings.
The Dreamier Shante Cummings is accused of harassing communications. Case number 22 CR 005-688Y from June 28th, 2022. Ms. Cummings, you've been advised of your right to remain silent and your attorney is going to be Ms. Gant. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Any priors, Mr.
12
Tucson?
total.
Repeat?
12 total.
12.
Last arrest was in 2020. Reckless conduct, criminal damage to property first degree, cruelty in the second. That's open in the DeKalb County. I got disorderly conduct and misdemeanor obstruction convictions,
From what year?
2016. Trespass conviction, 2016. Giving false name, NOLO, from 2015.
Any battery or assault charges?
They got these, they printed this out front and back, so I gotta flip this paper
Or
over.
anything of violence?
Got failed to appear in 2017. But the violence is what's open in the DeKalb County.
All right. That's good then. Thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident is alleged to have occurred on June 28th, 2022. The area of the incident location listed on the warrant is 2399 Parkland Drive Northeast. In this incident, Your Honor, it's indicated by officers that the defendant in this case called the victim, in this case, Miss Karima Phillips, Kareemah Phillips, common spelling, 10 times in one day and had to be blocked. She stated that she did not know this particular person. However, a reverse phone search was able to identify her. And we were able to make contact with the victim in this case. And she stated that she is and has been in fear for her life since this incident because the defendant sent threatening messages stating that she would beat her ass and that she was watching her. This victim feels that this is related to something involving her ex-husband. In this case, given the nature of the incidents is alleged, Your Honor, the state is going to be requesting a $2,500 good bond, no further contact with the victim. We're not sure what the incident location is. However, we're gonna ask for a stay away in case that's her residence. No alcohol, drugs, and weapons, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further violations of Georgia law. And I do believe the victim is online if Your Honor would like to sound for her.
All right, Miss Karima Phillips, if you're on the Zoom.
Yes,
you
I
need
am.
to unmute.
Hey,
Is that you, Kay Phillips?
yes, ma'am. I go by Kay.
All right.
Actually,
You
I
need to
wanted,
raise your right hand, please. If you want to
And-
say something, do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth?
yes, I do.
All right. And
And
now,
Your Honor,
Mr.
I do
Nicholson.
apologize for interrupting. I would ask that Ms. Cummings limit her testimony to her wish for contact, and I will let the court know that my client does not want any contact.
And the state would object, obviously it goes to intimidation of the witness and flight, in this case, and the other factors.
All right, got it. I'll sustain the objection, actually. Ms. Phillips, how do you know Tadremia Cummings?
Your Honor, I don't know her at all.
You've never met her before?
I've never met her before in a day of my life. I don't even know her name. I
Okay.
actually,
And do you have any friends who are, y'all know mutually?
none.
All right. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Ms. Duncan, anything else to add?
Nothing, just what I said about our contact with her earlier, nothing further.
Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Tadremia Cummings is 28 years old. She was born in Florida, but she has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area her entire life. She is the proud mother of 2 children, an 11-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. She has also has a mother here, so Your Honor, she does have community ties. Ms. Cummings completed high school. She actually is in college right now. She is enrolled in at Atlanta Tech.
Mhm.
She's majoring in accounting. She has a 3.5 GPA. My client informs me that she was in custody for 21 days in Gwinnett for driving offenses. She just paid bond, and due to the amount of time that she was in jail, she has subsequently lost her job. She is now at risk of losing her car, her appointment. She isn't even sure if she'll be able to continue in her program because she may have lost her financial aid because she hasn't been attending school. She is a full-time student, and while she was working full-time as well, doing her best raising 2 children. She was employed as a customer service collections agent. Your Honor, my client denies knowing Ms. Phillips, and she definitely did not have any intent to call Ms. Phillips. She does not know.
I got the message there, but I don't know whether it's a wrong number. I do not know.
Your
But the
Honor,
bond's gonna be set at 3,500.
if I may clarify, Your Honor, just for 1 second, my computer is glitching, and I wanted to indicate for the record that when officers contacted this defendant, she admitted to the incident to the officers.
And as I was
Understood.
stating to the
No,
court.
hang on, folks, hang on, folks.
Okay, sure.
3,500 signature bond for pretrial services per judge. No further contact with Karimia or Kay Phillips. No more texting or messaging any threatening messages to Miss Phillips, or if she gets the right number, no more texting or messaging. If she manages to get the right number and reach the right recipient with the alleged threatening messages and gets arrested again, this 3,500 signature bond will be canceled and converted to either a cash bond or a surety bond. Ms. Cummings, I'm giving you an opportunity to make sure that you use your phone very, very wisely. Otherwise, you are writing a one-way ticket back to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
No alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. Yeah, this is what happens when you come to jail and then you make me give you a personal invitation to pretrial services. So you may be randomly screened for illegal drugs, you may be randomly screened for alcohol, and you're not allowed to own a weapon or a firearm while this case is open. Well, you got a felony case in DeKalb anyway, so you're not allowed to do that anyways. You're not to contact Miss Kay Phillips or Karimia Phillips even by mistake, if you misdial. All right, otherwise you're writing a one-way ticket back to Wright Street Jail. And if you come before me, well, you can speak to any of the attorneys. It'll be a cash bond. So if you're planning to save money for college and all that, you can kiss that goodbye. Your next court date is going to be sent to you at your current address. Make sure that we have your current address at all times. If you miss a court date and because of a wrong address, a bench warrant might be issued for your arrest, which will again jeopardize your signature bond. Understood?
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you in court. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, if we can go back to position 12, Mr. Roberts. We have Ms. McLeod on.
Thank you, Francois.
You're welcome.
All right, we have Michael Roberts. We're resuming with his case 22 CR 005685B. He's been advised of his right to remain silent, and his counsel is Ms. McLeod with the conflict defense. Ms. McLeod, I thought you had enough of me this morning, but I'm going to drag you back here again. So
it's been that kind of day, Judge.
I know. So anyway, young Roberts is charged with possession of a pistol by a person under the age of 18 and a violation of rules of roadway. Mr. Tucson, could you repeat his GCIC?
I think it's his first.
First arrest. Okay, I just wanted to hear you say it again. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Ms. Bacchus, now that Ms. McLeod is present, what would you recommend?
The state's recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond, no loitering in the incident area. Well, he's not supposed to be drinking, so I guess no weapons. And if he is still in high school, because I believe he's 17, we are asking that he attend school or at least enroll in a GED program while he's out on bond.
All right. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 17 years old. He is an 11th grader at Frederick Douglass High School. He lives with his dad and his grandmother. Your Honor, he tells me that the gun belonged to his adult cousin and he just had it in his bag, you know, it was his cousin's gun. He denies that, you know, he had any intent to do anything wrong. He just didn't realize that he wasn't supposed to have it. But he did receive it. It's a licensed firearm that his cousin owns, his 25-year-old cousin. My client has never been in any kind of trouble. He gets very, very good grades. He tells me that he plans to go on to college, Your Honor, and he has told me that he's not going to be ever back in Fulton County Jail. I believe that he qualifies for signature bond, Your Honor, because he was not engaged in any criminal conduct per se. He just he happened to have this gun, which he didn't understand that he should not have had this gun. Based on that, Your Honor, I would ask the court to give him a signature bond. We don't mind the conditions of him continuing to go to school because he does wish to do that because he has plans to attend the college.
All right, so all right, Ms. McLeod, I understand your argument, but there seems to be a lot more in the warrant that I'm really concerned about. Excuse me. Bond on the possession of a pistol or revolver by a person under the age of 18 is $1,000. That's a surety bond. Pedestrian roadway is a $500 signature bond through the jail. No weapons, no firearms, no alcohol, and no illegal drugs. And the next court date is September 8th. Mr. Roberts, yes, I understand you don't have a prior criminal record history and that the considerations that your attorney has put forth are very, very persuasive for a signature bond. Unfortunately, what we're talking about is not a toy. It's not a video game. It's not a handheld phone device. It's a gun. And if you don't start respecting the nature of this device, then we are all going to be in trouble. So please let your family know that you have $1,000 surety bond and that you are not allowed to have a weapon, a firearm in your home, on your person, in any vehicle you occupy, or anywhere near you. Now, if your cousin happens to own that weapon and firearm, then all I can tell you is your cousin better come up with the funds to release you out on bond. You're going to be subject to a curfew between 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're not allowed out of the house during those hours. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, if you have big plans for your future, you better work real hard with your attorney to get this case resolved.
Yes, ma'am.
Teenagers, high school, and gun, just read the news. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Position 2, Allen.
Tylisha Allen is accused of simple battery from May 1st, 2021, 22 CR 005-686E. Ms. Allen, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms.
It's me.
Ms.
It's
McLeod?
me again. Yes,
All
yes,
right.
Your Honor.
All right, your attorney is Ms. Maureen McLeod. Just, Ms. McLeod, I'm going to take a pause. I completely forgot. I did read that chat message. Ms. Greenhouse, we need to take a plea for position 11.
Okay, Your Honor, I actually thought it was the one that we just did. Do you have a sense, will I be on this call very long?
Let me see, Miss Kim. Miss J. Kim, PD J. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Have you spoken to Mr. Lawhorn? Will he take the signature bond through the jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're not taking a plea in your case, correct?
No.
I'm going to release our court reporter unless you know, unless the PDs know of any cases where their clients plan to take a plea.
There's one more plea, the average, I just got a text from position 9, so I have to talk to position 9, Your Honor. I received a text about 2 seconds ago.
That's going to be a signature bond through the jail. So
Okay.
Does he want to take a plea?
I do not know, Your Honor, because I have not had a chance to talk to him.
That's going to be a signature bond through the jail. So that's not
Okay.
going to be a plea. Ms. Greenhouse, any other cases, the attorney, any other cases in which your clients plan to take a plea that don't involve affixing materials to windows and windshield? All right, Ms. Greenhouse, I'm releasing you.
Okay, thank you so much, Judge Law.
All right, you
Thank
take
you.
care.
Thank-
Thank you. All right, moving back to
Bye-bye.
Ms. Allen. All right, Mr. Tucson, any priors?
Fifth arrest, 2010 simple battery, family violence, 2016 ag assault. It was amended to a fray conviction. 2016 driving without a valid license, dismissed. 2018 failure to appear for driving without a valid license. That's it.
So the 2016 driving while license suspended was dismissed, but then she got an FTA?
Driving without a valid license?
Didn't you say that was dismissed?
Yeah, I didn't call out the dates though. So the initial charge was December 28th, 2016. It was NOD April 20th, 2022.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense.
But the FTA was 2018. So
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident occurred on May 1st, 2021 at 915 Trestle Tree Court, Southeast, that's TRESTLE, tree common spelling. The state is going to be requesting a $3,500 surety bond in this case. We have a concern in this case about the risk of reoffense and the flight risk, Your Honor. This defendant does have violent convictions in the past, as well as a recent FTA. This case did involve multiple fighting and a weapon or knife was involved. Specifically, this defendant was in an altercation with the victim In this case, Ms. Brittany Jones, both common spelling, who is her neighbor. And according to documents, she can be seen on camera in a video of the altercation, striking Ms. Jones with a closed fist. And for those reasons, given the all the factors present, the state is going to be requesting that $3,500 good bond, along with no further contact with the victim, Brittany Jones, and stay away from the incident location, 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further violations of Georgia law. And I believe the victim is on the line if Your Honor would like to sound.
All right, Miss Brittany Jones. Brittany Jones. Right, Miss McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 30 years old. She is the mother of 3 minor children, a 10-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 5-year-old. She denies the allegations as stated by the prosecutor. She tells me that she actually was the victim in that interaction. She tells me that the alleged victim was actually arrested and she was stabbed. I also want to point out to the court that this happened more than a year ago. It is not something recent. My client, she works, but her income is sporadic because she has a janitorial job, which is not, it's not continuous. She does have to take care of these 3 small children, Your Honor. She tells me that the 5-year-old is quite ill at the moment, so she is very concerned about that. I am asking the court to give her a signature bond. There is an allegation that there was some violent arrest, but this was, I believe, in 2010, Your Honor, so I think that's remote. Otherwise, it has been traffic related. She hasn't been in any significant trouble in recent times. And given the fact that she does have these 3 minor children, how long ago the incident is alleged to have happened, and that the complaining witness was also arrested, I think the court should consider giving her a signature bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
The defendant in this case is the one who showed officers the video which implicated her in the incident. And she does have violent convictions, just to clarify for the record, Your Honor.
Yeah, what was it? Aggravated assault reduced to an affray, wasn't it?
Yes.
That is correct, Your Honor. This was some time ago, I believe.
2018.
I think it said 2010.
Right. I've read the warrant and it looks like this is over money issues. So, but based on the allegations in the warrant and based on the age of the incident, the bond's going to be set at $3,500. It's a signature bond through pretrial services. No further contact with Brittany Jones. Does she still live at that trestle tree, something like that?
I'll have to ask her, Your Honor. We did not discuss that. Do you still live at that old address or you moved?
No, I don't. That's my mom's address.
Okay. She doesn't live there, Your Honor.
All right.
It's her aunt's address.
All right, that's the address we have on file. So, Miss Allen?
I'm currently homeless at the time. I stay at a hotel. I don't stay at my mom's address anymore.
Do you have a new address now?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Yes, she's staying in a hotel in a short-term stay situation,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Wherever you are staying, you need to make sure that the clerk, the courthouse knows what your address is. So
Okay.
once you are released on a signature bond, make sure that you give pretrial services your new address and that you come to the courthouse at 160 Prior Street and you update us with your new address, phone number, and email. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you are to have no further contact with Brittany Jones. You have to stay 200 yards away from her. You cannot speak to her, communicate with her in person, not discuss her on social media, nothing. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you're also not to consume any illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms. I see you, Miss Jones. I'll be with you shortly. Make sure that you report to court, and if you don't change your address and you don't get notice to come back to court, we'll issue a bench warrant for your arrest.
I'll update my address.
All right, make sure we know where you are, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And don't get arrested again because you will lose your signature bond.
I'm not.
Good, all right. Thank
Mr.
you, Mr.
Judge.
Cloud. Anything else?
You heard me, Judge?
No, Your
Your
Honor.
judge, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Miss Jones, if you want to unmute, we sounded out for you earlier, but you did not respond. Did you want to say something?
No.
All right, thank you. Then you're free to go. Thank you, Miss Allen. That concludes your
Okay.
Francois, that concludes Miss Allen's case. The next one.
Position 1, Alexander.
Francois will need a breakout room for Lawhorn, so I'm going to put that till the end, okay?
Okay, not a problem, Judge.
All right.
Position 1,
Jonathan
Alexander.
Alexander is accused of, I must be running a special on harassing, okay. Is accused of harassing communications from March 18, 2022. Case number 22 CR 005-681B. Mr. Alexander, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Toussaint?
Fifth arrest, 2008 carrying concealed weapon, 2012 marijuana possession conviction, misdemeanor, 2012 false imprisonment, simple battery on police, disorderly conduct, and felony obstruction. The disorderly conduct says merged, simple battery merged. Felony obstruction was a conviction. And that was out of Clayton County. 2012 probation, not prosecuted, out of Fayetteville. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bacchus?
Ms.
Oh, Ms.
Duncan,
Duncan, excuse me.
in this case, the state is going to be requesting a $2,500 good bond. No further contact with the victim in this case, Ms. Jasenia Morales, Jacenia, last name Morales. No further contact with the child that they share unless legitimized. Stay away from the incident location 11446 Alpharetta Highway, which is the Rick Case Hyundai. 1-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further violations of Georgia law. In this case, Your Honor, the state has a concern about the risk of reoffense. Officers were dispatched because on several different occasions, this defendant sent multiple messages and text to the victim in this case. And on one of the particular occasions, while the officer was recording on body cam, the victim in this case received 23 calls in 26 minutes. The victim indicated to officers that the defendant had been threatening her and threatening to take their shared child away because they were having issues due to her wanting him to go through a formal legitimization process for visitation and custody of the child. Given the facts alleged in this warrant, we have a concern about the risk of reoffense, and we'd ask that the court grant our recommendation. Nothing further from the state.
All right, thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Jonathan Alexander is 35 years old. He has been in the Atlanta, Georgia area since 2007. He is the proud father of a 1.5-year-old son that he shares with the complaining witness, Ms. Jasenia Morales. Your Honor, we are unopposed to the stay away. My client informs me that he does not want any contact with Ms. Morales. However, he tells me that he is in the process of legitimizing his son. In fact, he states that he has a hearing on August 29th, 2022 in Cobb County. Mr. Alexander completed 12th grade. He is currently employed at the Walmart Distribution Center full-time. He has been in that position for 6 months. He also works at First Watch part-time. He has been in that job for 1 year. Your Honor, my client strongly denies the allegations. What he tells me is that this is basically a case of Ms. Morales denying him the right to see his son. He states that any and all contact that he has made with her has been about seeing his son. And I would just bring to the court's attention that the warrant states that Ms. Morales alleged terroristic threats. There were no terroristic threats found. My client does not have any recent convictions of violence. Frankly, that obstruction, if we consider that violence, that is 2012. I am requesting a signature bond as he is recommended. And again, we are unopposed to any stayaways. And my client only wants third-party transfer. And he, of course, again, states that he has a court date scheduled on August 29th, 2022 in Cobb County. Thank you, Your Honor.
So he's got a Cobb County case?
He tells me that the legitimation action is being handled in Cobb County on August 29th, if I heard correctly.
And Ms. Duncan, do you know the status of any TPO that was filed by Ms. Jasenia?
No, I don't know the status, Your Honor, at this time.
All right, thank you. Bond is set at $2,000. It's going to be a surety bond. No further contact with Jasenia Morales. No further contact with the minor child in question. Any visitation or custody will be the result of a legitimation action. Ms. Gant, if you know the case number of the Cobb County case, they can be notified that Mr. Alexander is either detained here unless he makes bond, then he will be able to make it to his court date. But otherwise, they may need to reset that hearing date. Or they can schedule it so that they address cases with an individual being currently detained. No further contact with the minor child, and no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. This means, Mr. Alexander, you are not to communicate with Jasenia in any way, form, or manner. No phone, no in-person, no third party, no social media, nothing. You understand, sir? All right. Given the allegations of the warrant, it gives a great concern about the nature of your relationship with the mother of your child. And unfortunately, the bond is going to be a surety bond to make sure that you stay away from her and that you comply with the conditions of the bond. You might want to notify any attorney that you have representing you in the legitimation action, or contact the clerk's office in Cobb County case. Let them know that you're currently detained at the Fulton County Jail. Thank you. Next court date is going to be September 9th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
September the 8th.
September 8th, excuse me, September 8th.
Hey, Judge Law, this Officer Norris, is there a way we can do Mr. Lawhorn? He has his sister here. She's been here since the beginning. So I'm just trying to get her out of the courtroom so she won't have to wait until
We're going to take a breakout on that at his attorney's request. So, yeah, I can do a breakout right now. If,
yeah, that's what I was just requesting.
Okay, let me go ahead and do that. Ms. Champion, if you can place Ms. Kim, Ms. Bacchus, and me, and Ms. McCutcheon.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, in the breakout room. All right, this is State versus Ronnie Lawhorns, case number 22 CR 005-682A. Officer Norris, what is the name of the person here for Mr. Lawhorn?
I'm sorry, Judge. His sister is here on his behalf.
Officer Francois, I believe that Mr. Lawhorn has a relative in the courtroom. I just need her name.
Okay.
Monica Bryant. Oh, like, Monica.
Nautica Bryant.
Yeah.
It's Nautica Bryant.
Nautica, Nadika.
Just like the code.
Nautica, like the brand.
Nautica.
Say that again?
Nautica.
Oh, Nautica.
Yes.
And Bryant, Bryant?
That is correct, Judge.
Well, the name has to be correct because pre-trial needs that name. So did we get the correct name? Nautica Bryant?
Yes, she said that is correct.
Okay. Mr. Lawhorn, based on the information we received from his attorney, his bond is going to be $1,000 signature bond through pre-trial services. He is to be released to only Miss Nautica Bryant. Miss Nautica Bryant needs to co-sign the bond. She needs to produce a government issue ID with pretrial services to co-sign the bond. Mr. Lawhorn is to stay away from the Discount Food Mart at Metropolitan Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. So he has to stay 200 yards away. Mr. Lawhorn, you cannot return to the Discount Food Mart. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. We will send his notice for his next court date to Miss Bryant's address so that she will make sure that he gets to court. And since she's co-signing the board, the court is relying upon her to make sure that he attends his court appearances and that he complies with the bond. That concludes this case. Thank you.
Thank
And I'm
you.
going to waive the utility requirement.
Y'all can send her to the pretrial trailer if you want.
What?
On
I got you.
All right.
And pre-trial, I'm going to allow for telephonic reporting. Mr. Tucson?
Put it on the bond order.
All right, thank you. Next case, please.
Position 6, Fry.
David Lee Fry is accused of forgery in the 4th degree in 22 CR 005-690F. Mr. Fry, with an E, this is alleged to have occurred on June 1st, 2020. And you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
What?
Hold on. Who we on?
Position number 6, Fry, F-R-Y-E.
R-Y-E. 33. On probation and called for ag assault. Last arrest was back on the 8th of this month on a probation violation. Hold on.
Where's this store?
2016 burglary conviction, 2017 shoplifting conviction, 2018 probation, 2018 ag assault conviction, probation. Yeah. 2013 probation.
Oh, that's good, thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, this incident did occur at 121 West Paces Ferry Road. That is a Regions Bank. There is a $2,500 preset surety bond in this case. The state is going to be asking that remain as set, that the defendant stay away from the Regions Bank. No further violations of Georgia law in a theft class. In this case, the state has a concern about the risk of reoffending. Given that the defendant has an extensive history with crimes of moral turpitude, including theft and burglary convictions, we have a concern about flight risk.
I don't think that is a crime of moral turpitude.
I'm sorry, who was saying that?
And we have a concern about the flight risk, given that this defendant has several at least one FTA in the last 10 years and several probation violations and revocations. And we have a concern about this defendant's likelihood to respond to the legal process. As Your Honor can tell from his history, there are probation violations spanning throughout. In this case, he did tender a check from, I believe it's Tandem Technologies at the Regions Bank in the amount of $728.36 when he did not have the authority to do so. Given those facts and the other factors present in this case, we'd ask that that preset bond remain as set with the conditions already placed on the record. Nothing
Thank you.
further from the state.
Thank you. Ms. Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. David Fry is 43 years old. He has been in the Metro Atlanta, Georgia area for 25 years. He is currently a resident of Cartersville, Georgia, and has been in that location for the past 3 years. Mr. Fry has a bachelor's degree in computer science. He has been incarcerated for the last 26 days. He believes that he still has his job at Southern Tree Service. However, due to the length of his incarceration, he cannot verify that. When he worked or in his capacity at Southern Tree, he works as a lead groundsman and also a tree cutter. He denies the allegations, Your Honor. He states that on the date of this alleged incident, he was actually in a treatment program, and he has several alibis who can verify that there is no way that he was present to present this forged document. Your Honor, I do acknowledge my client's history. However, I would just ask the court to consider that my client doesn't have the means to make bond, and he has been in custody for another matter. I know it's unrelated to this matter, but this offense is over 2 years old. He was unaware of the warrant. I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he's ineligible, then I would ask for a bond of no more than $1,000. And we are certainly opposed to the theft class, as I do not believe he will have the means to pay for that, Your Honor. Thank you.
$1,000 surety bond. Stay away from all Regions Bank. Next court date is September 8th. 1,000. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Position 14. How do you pronounce your last name?
Shawstein. Good morning.
Good afternoon. Timothy Shawstein is case number 22 CR 005684D. Mr. Shawstein has been accused of driving under the influence of drugs, driving on the wrong side of an undivided street, and failure to maintain lane or improper lane change from August 24th, 2022. Mr. Shawstein, you have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
13 total. Last
Any
arrest.
prior DUIs? Sorry?
2009 DUI, says transferred to state court. Got a dismissed DUI from 2007. You want more information?
No, that's good. If that's the only 2 DUIs, anything else?
DUI related? No, not that
Okay.
I don't have a driving history. No.
Any open cases?
I'm not sure, but let me give you this though. May 2021 trespass DV out of Alpharetta that could possibly be open. 2020 terrorist threats misdemeanor, possible open. 2016 felony terrorist threats, and he had a felony probation violation in 2012, which came off of possession of a controlled substance.
All right, thank you. Miss Dacus?
Yes, Your Honor. The state does have the driving record, and he's got about 25 driving violations, many of which are convictions, and he's got a bunch of suspensions as well. He's been listed as a serious repeat offender in driving. The state's request is a $6,000 surety bond, $3,500 on the DUI, 1,500 on the driving wrong side of the road, and 1,000 on the failure to maintain lane. No driving, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. This incident occurred yesterday. An officer who is certified in field sobriety and roadside impairment driving, he basically saw the car make an improper turn, and then he saw them go over into the other lane to where their wheels were in the oncoming in the opposite traffic direction. And so he then at that point, the officer decided to stop the vehicle. And he pretty much saw signs of impairment, droopy eyes, slurred speech, watery eyes. And he did take he agreed to take the field sobriety testing. And the officer made the determination that it was less safe for him to drive. Based on this driving record, Your Honor, and the 2020 and 2021 charges, we have serious concern about the risk of reoffense. And so we feel as though the $6,000 surety bond is more than appropriate. Nothing further.
Ms. Gant?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Timothy is 35 years old.
Oh, Ms. Kim,
and-
sorry.
That's okay. He has been here in Georgia for all his life. He has one child who is 5 years old that he has been supporting, and he is self-employed to work several different places. He also works as an Instacart and DoorDash driver as well. He has a 5-star ratings as a Instacart driver. He really needs to get out of the jail to actually continue his work. And also he has a two years of associate degree from the college. We would like to request for signature on bond, and yet if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond because of his multiple driving violations, we would like to request for maximum total $1,750, $1,750 good bond, 1,000 for DUI, and 500 for the second charge, and third one $250, because that's all he has in his debit card right now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. On the DUI, it's going to be 2,500. On the driving on the wrong side of I'm sorry, did you have to say something?
Trying to speak that yesterday all that happened.
Mr.
Was
Timothy, is it directly related to a bond? Otherwise,
related to the case, because all I did was accidentally swerve into a
Mr.
light.
Shawstein,
Yeah.
I let y'all know that you have a right to remain silent because anything you say during the course of this
I
recorded,
know, ma'am.
broadcasted proceeding,
I
your
was sober
statements will
yesterday.
be used against you.
I just
So
wanted
if
to
you
say,
are going to make a statement that you allegedly did go on the other side of the road, you're helping the prosecution prove their case.
well, I won't deny that because I was reaching for something which is
Okay.
inappropriate, but I'm saying I was not under the influence.
You have a right
I
to
don't
remain
drink.
silent.
I
I'll
don't
call
drink.
you. I'll call you to explain more.
I try, Miss Kim, but they never listen. So, like I was saying, on the DUI, driving under the influence, is going to be a 2,500 surety bond. Driving on the wrong side of an undivided street, that's going to be $1,000 surety bond. And failure to maintain lane, that's going to be $1,000 signature bond through the jail. His total bond is 4,500. It's going to be a split bond. He'll need to pay through a bonding company on 3,500 portion of that. And his court date is going to be September 8th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Additions to the bond, no driving unless he has limited driving privileges issued by the Department of Driver Services. And he would have to go through. After 30 days, your driving privileges are suspended unless you file the requisite appeal with the Department of Driver Services. No alcohol, no illegal drugs, and no weapons, no firearms.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That concludes the case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Position 10, Ingram.
Where's this?
Jordan Ingram is case 22 CR 005-679G, accused of battery and criminal trespass and damage to property from August 9th, 2022. This is not a domestic violence matter. Mr. Ingram, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Kim. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
Third arrest.
Repeat?
That's third.
Okay,
2019 theft by receiving auto. 2021 obstruction out of Clayton County. And that's open. So he's not recommended due to the open case.
all right. Ms. Bacchus?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a $4,000 surety bond, $3,000 on the battery and $1,000 on the criminal damage to property. No further contact with the victim, Antoinetta Rakestraw. Antoinetta is spelled Antoinetta. Rakestraw is Rakestraw. And I don't know if she'll be on the Zoom, but if she has a home, we are asking that he stay away. I guess the no further contact will cover that. This incident occurred on August 10th. An officer responded to a motor vehicle crash at 1380 Atlantic Station Drive Northwest. And upon arrival, the call type was changed to a dispute call. Basically, the officer met with Miss Rakestraw, and she said that she was parked and she looked over. She didn't realize her ex-boyfriend's car was parked next to her. And she said he had placed something on her car. She gave it back to him and told him she didn't want to talk to him. She had just broken up with him 2 days prior. He had been calling back to back and then calling even from private numbers. She said she knew how quickly things could escalate. When she told him that she didn't want to talk to him, he attacked her. The officer did see scratches, bruises, swelling on her. And then it's unclear as to whether this happened directly after or prior, but he did stomp on her windshield and broke her front windshield. Your Honor. And so he does have limited history, but based on the violent nature of and the fact that he was basically harassing her prior to the incident, we do feel as though the surety bonds are appropriate. Nothing further.
Okay. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jordan Ingram is 26 years old, and he has been here in Georgia for all his life. They do not reside together. They broke up, and they have no children together whatsoever. My client has no objection to stay away or no further contact whatsoever. They are done, and he does not have any heart or desire to contact her at all. He has a job. He's gainfully employed at warehouse. He has been doing that for about 5 years. He's also working as an electrician. After graduating from high school, he went to multiple different programs, including commercial and residential wire program and electrical system program to be an electrician. He also completed 5 years of apprentices training program to be a licensed electrician. He denies every allegation. He said he loved his ex-girlfriend too much to lay any hand on her. He denies the allegation, and we would like to request for signature on bond. And yet, if Your Honor is not inclined to give him a signature on bond, we would like to request for maximum $1,000 total good bond. Thank you.
Mr. Tucson, what's the status of his theft by receiving stolen property?
I don't know. Hold on.
19 SC 164850.
Oh, you saw it's hold on. Thank you. Let's see.
It looks like it was null prost on March of 2019.
Yeah, so he just got the open case in Clayton, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. On each count, it's going to be $1,000. It's going to be a surety bond. We have no further contact with Antoinette Rakestraw, beginning with an R, Rakestraw, which means that he cannot communicate with her in person, nor through a third party, a cell phone, any kind of electronic device, and also no contact through social media. You can't discuss her on social media. I want you to also stay 200 yards away from the location identified as 1380 Atlantic Drive. I am assuming this is in the area of the Atlantic Station out on 17th Street or whatever. You are not allowed in that area. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, and no firearms, and your next court date is September 8th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What about the damage you don't want?
If you have a question, raise your hand.
No. I'll call you and give you a call. You have a right to remain silent, and I will explain to you later. Thanks.
Position 13, Saval.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Have a seat, right? Third row.
This is Adam Saval, case number 22 CR 005683G, accused of simple battery domestic violence from August 24th, 2022. Mr. Saval, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Kim. Mr. Tucson, any priors?
Oh.
All right. Ms. Bacchus?
Your Honor, I apologize for not putting this in the chat, but I believe we may need a breakout for this one.
All right. Let's go ahead and a breakout. Ms. Kim, Ms. Bacchus, Ms. McCutcheon, myself, and Holly.
We are here right now as well. His mother is right here.
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do about her in the breakout, but
The only name I see on the screen is Mona Kayed. I don't see anyone. You need to start your video.
Yes, ma'am. So I am translating for her. This is Miss Mona Kayed, and I'm translating for her, and I've given my name in the pre-trial.
Okay, all right. Ms. Champion, we can go ahead and put Ms. Kayed in the breakout with us as well. Thank you. All right, we're resuming our case with Adam Sabah, case number 22 CR 005683G. Mr. Sabah, I'm going to let the Attorney Bacchus outline the reasons why they are seeking a surety bond. Ms. Bacchus?
Yes, Your Honor. The state was requesting a $2,500 surety bond. Stay away from the incident location of 5450 Glen Ridge Drive in Atlanta, and MHET and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Though this is the first arrest, the state is concerned about the violent nature of the offense and the safety of his family. And therefore, that is why we are requesting a surety bond.
And Ms. Kim? Ms.
Ms.
Kim?
Kim, you're muted, Ms. Kim.
I don't think she's muted. I think we lost her audio.
Oh.
Just a minute. She had to leave the Zoom in order to reconnect. Sometimes that happens when you're in a breakout room.
I apologize. I think
No problem, no problem. That happens.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, so shall I do my argument?
Yes,
from
just
here?
give me your
Yes.
argument for, I
Sure.
believe you're seeking a signature bond.
Yes, we do ask for signature bond since he's recommended. He is 20 years old and he came here when he was very, very little. So he's been here almost all his life, even though he was born in outside of the US. And he graduated from he did up to 11th grade in the high school, and then he completed his GED. And right now he's been working online doing the software programs. But he does not have a job for about 2 months. So he has been unemployed for 2 months, and he has no financial means to pay for any kind of bond. We would like to request for signature on bonds. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We did have a sidebar or a virtual breakout in order to discuss certain other sensitive issues based on the information that the court has derived from the attorneys as well as from the alleged incident and the alleged victim. Bond is going to be set at $3,000 surety. Mr. Sabah, you are to have no further contact with Mona Hayed. You are to stay away from 5254 Glen Ridge Drive, apartment 509 in Atlanta, Georgia. You're not to consume any alcohol, no illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. The court is going to require the public defense to have Mr. Sabah evaluated in accordance with what we have discussed in our sidebar. And if necessary, you may consult with Miss Maya Hayed, and you have her number, yes?
Not yet.
I believe it's Maya Sabag, Your Honor, just.
Oh, sorry, it's Maya Sabah. And you have her phone number, yes?
Not yet. Can she text me?
It's in the chat.
It's in the chat? Oh,
Yeah.
because I
It's in the
got
chat.
out of it.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I got out of the.
I've written it down also, and I can send that to you later as well if you don't have it, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, that concludes this case. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Hayed, you are free to go. Officer Francois, we need our next case.
Position 9, Howell.
This is Mr. Howell. How do you pronounce your first name?
Shibu.
Okay, Mr. Shibu Howell is accused of affixing materials to windows windshield that reduce light transmission from August 24, 2022, case number 22 CR 0056788. Mr. Howells, you have been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. Is that correct, or is that
So
Tom?
it will be J.
Ms.
Kim, Your
Kim,
Honor.
all right?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Kim, does your client have any other open cases?
Not here in Georgia, but I mean, not here in Fulton County, but he has a warrant hold at DeKalb County. So he will be extradited to DeKalb County.
All right, do you agree, Ms. Bacchus?
That is correct.
All right, this will be a $500 signature bond through the jail with a release to, what county was that?
DeKalb,
Sorry, DeKalb?
Yes.
that's correct.
All right, with a release to DeKalb County Jail, they can either pick him up or, do you know if it's a traffic matter?
It looks like it's felony fraud that he's wanted for.
Okay, then they will come pick him up.
Yes.
Thank you. His next court date will be sent to him at his current mailing address. Make sure you give us your current address at all times. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Judge, what was the bond amount?
$500 signature bond through the jail with a release to DeKalb County Police.
Thank you. Position 8, Henderson.
Mr. Mario Henderson is case number 22 CR 005676F, accused of theft by shoplifting from August 24th, 2022. Anderson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
18 total.
Did you say 18?
Yes.
All right, any prior shoplifting?
Alabama, yes. Out of between Alabama and Tennessee. All right. Last arrest was back in April out of Memphis. Possession of drug paraphernalia and possession with intent. That was dismissed. March 2022, theft of property dismissed. Criminal impersonation from 2021. 2020, possession of a controlled substance conviction. Theft of property conviction from 2020 as well. 2019, theft of property, $1,000 or less. 2018, aggravated burglary. 2017, theft of property. 2017, another theft. 2016,
Sorry,
same thing.
Tucson, could you repeat that last part?
Which part?
After you read off about the aggravated burglary.
2017, theft of property.
Okay,
Another 2016, theft of property.
okay, that's good, thank you. Ms.
I got
Bacchus?
one more. And the 07 ag robbery. That was a
Alright.
conviction.
That is remote, okay. Ms. Bacchus?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending a $2,500 surety bond. Stay away from that incident location, the Family Dollar Store. I believe it's at 1616 Virginia Avenue in College Park. And no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Your Honor, basically, this incident happened yesterday. Police were patrolling the area, and they were flagged down by the store manager of the Family Dollar, who said that two guys had just come in and taken some stuff. The police officer had already seen them, so he went around the side of the building, and the defendant and his counterpart were caught with the items that were stolen from the store. Your Honor, though this is the first arrest in Georgia, again, since 2006, he's just got so many theft charges, some misdemeanors, some felonies. And so we are worried about, he's literally gone from multiple states and came to Georgia and now is doing the same thing. So we're worried about reoffense here. And so we are asking for that surety bond, nothing further.
All right. Did they take the stuff? Was that
Sorry?
changing the price tag? I can't recall.
The total of the items in the report said it was approximately $90. It never said exactly what the items were. It just said that they had carts with the items in it.
Okay, Miss Gant?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Mario Henderson is 34 years old. He is residentially challenged at this time and unemployed. He does not have the means to pay anything toward bond, nor does he have any family to assist. Mr. Henderson completed the 11th grade, and while working, he worked as a painter. He is now looking for work. He denies the allegations, and while I acknowledge my client's history, he is certainly presumed innocent in this case, Your Honor. Therefore, I am requesting a signature bond. If Your Honor determines that he is ineligible, I would ask that the bond remain as set at $1,000. We are unopposed to the stay away. Thank you.
Bond set at 1,500, that's going to be a surety bond to stay away from all Family Dollar stores in Georgia, all of them, not just the 1616 location. Our next court date is September 8th. No alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. And do we have a co-defendant? Do I need to have a stay away from co-defendant?
That's position 16.
All right. And after today, you are to have no contact with Team Thomas. Theem Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can address Mr. Thomas too, if he's in the courtroom.
Yes, he is, Judge. Come on, Mr. Thomas. Put your mask up for me.
Mr. Thiem Thomas is accused of theft by shoplifting as a co-defendant to the case we just addressed. Case number 22 CR 005677F. And Mr. Thomas is also been advised of his right to remain silent, and his attorney is Conflict Defense Counsel, Ms. McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor.
Any priors, Mr. Howard?
Got over 20. Between Tennessee, New Jersey, and Georgia. I'll go with Georgia first. Last arrest in Georgia, 2017, probation for shoplifting. 2017, giving false name, disorderly conduct conviction, not a DeKalb. 2016, FTA, not prosecuted. 2013, shoplifting arrest.
That's good. Thank you. Yes, you go. I haven't signed it yet. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. That was good. Ms. Backus?
Yes, Your Honor. The facts remain the same. The state is recommending a $3,000 surety bond, a stay away from the incident, well, stay away from all Family Dollar stores as well. No alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Based on the extensive history, and the same argument goes, they both have extensive theft histories throughout multiple states. And so not only are they a flight risk, but there's a serious risk of reoffense. Nothing further.
Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. My client lives in Tennessee, he tells me. He just happened to be here visiting. He said he was hungry. So what he took from the store was something to eat because he didn't have any money, Your Honor. He does not work because he is disabled, and any income that he has is from disability, and he has been disabled since he was very young. I would ask the court to take that into consideration in setting his bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
1,500 surety bond to stay away from all Family Dollar stores and to stay away from co-defendant Mr. Bruce Howell. No, excuse me, from Mr. Mario Henderson after today. Next court date is September 8th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Position 7, Green.
Dwayne Green, case number 22 CR 005691Y, accused of simple battery domestic violence from November 19, 2019. Mr. Green, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Wanda Gant. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
You're on mute.
Yep.
My bad. 18 total. Last arrest was 2017, aggravated assault. 2 counts of cruelty. 17 SC 150957.
I'm sorry, 150917?
957.
957, thank you.
Yeah, 2014.
Still open?
I assume.
Okay.
Yes, it
20
is.
Okay.
2014 trespass conviction, 2009 battery DV, aggravated assault conviction. And he has a hold. Let me pull it real quick. Here we go. I saw it somewhere. Oh, the FTA warrant.
That's for the open felony
Just
case.
for the felony case? Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yeah, he failed to appear in 2018 for a trial with Judge Grover. That's why that
Sure.
case is still open, so it's on hold. This incident did occur at 564 Joseph E. Lowry. In this case, the state is going to be requesting a $3,000 surety, no further contact with the victim in this case. Ms. Veronica Shoemaker. Shoemaker is spelled SHOEMAKER. A 4-week anger management course, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further violations of Georgia law. I do want to state for the record that this case was accused with the appropriate tolling language that relates to the COVID-19 crisis currently. We have a concern in this case about the risk of reoffense, given that this defendant does have a previous violent conviction, although remote. It does show a pattern of violent behavior in addition to the open felony violent case that he was out on a $12,000 total pretrial bond on that he failed to appear. For that reason, we have concern that he's a flight risk, as well as his likelihood not to respond to the legal process. I did see a probation violation from 2011, as well as a specific danger to this victim, given that in this instance, it's reported that they were living together and a verbal altercation ensued about him wanting to go to sleep, I believe, and he got angry with the victim in this case and grabbed her by a shirt and punched her in the chin twice. So we have a concern about his violent tendencies and the danger to this particular victim, in addition to all the other IALA factors present. The state is going to ask that the court grant our recommendation with the bond of $3,000 surety, and the conditions are already stated. Nothing further from the state.
All right, Ms. Kent?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Dwayne Green is 41 years old. He has been in the Atlanta area his entire life. He has family here, but he does not have anyone to help. He does not have any siblings, and he informs me that his mother passed away in January of 2022. His father is also deceased. Your Honor, we are unopposed to any stay away and no contact provisions. My client informs me that he has not had any contact with Ms. Shoemaker, nor does he want any contact with her. He is unemployed. He has been unemployed for a very long period of time. He does not have the means to pay anything toward bond. He is also residentially challenged. We are putting in place a social worker consult to help him. He denies the allegations, and I would just ask the court to consider a signature bond in Mr. Green's behalf. I do acknowledge my client's history. However, this incident is over 2 years old. He has not had any contact, and he's presumed innocent. And regarding the FTA, he tells me that he did not receive notice for that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Did not see a return to sender in that case, so I'm not sure.
And we weren't able to make contact with the victim.
All right. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. It's a surety bond. No contact with Ms. Veronica Shoemaker. No alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Next court date is September 8th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you know if he's got a court date for the FTA?
Oh.
Okay.
I didn't see one.
Nor did I, Your Honor.
All right, who do we have, please?
We have position number 3, Mr. Anderson, Antonio Anderson. Good afternoon.
All right.
Excuse me, Your Honor, I'm so sorry, I apologize. What was Mr. Green's bond amount?
1,500 surety.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. This is Antonio Titus Anderson, simple battery, family violence, and obstructing a person for making an emergency phone call allegedly occurred on July 5th, 2022, case number 22 CR 005-687C. Mr. Anderson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is going to be Ms. McLeod. Any priors, Mr. Tucson?
Fifth arrest, 2016 false personation. This was out of Rochester, New York. For that, 2009 possession of a loaded firearm. That was a conviction.
Was that in Georgia?
New York. The Georgia history, 2019 suspended license, 2018 suspended license.
All right, thank you. Ms. Duncan?
Yes, Your Honor, in this case, the state is going to be requesting a $3,000 total surety bond. That is $2,500 for the simple battery, family violence, and $500 for the hindering. In this case, we have a concern about the risk of reoffense. It is indicated in the record that they share a child together, and we also have a concern about the particular safety of the witness victim in this case, given that it's alleged that he is the father of her child and he came to her home, according to the victim, while drunk and was asking to take possession of their daughter. And when she told him no, he body slammed her to the ground. And when she attempted to call 911, he knocked her phone out of her hand. And while she tried to crawl and get the phone, he picked her up.
Yeah, but I got that part. What's your bond recommendation?
Yes. So given the violent nature of the offenses alleged, that's why we have a concern for the intimidation. Our bond recommendation is $3,000 total surety, as previously stated, $2,500 for the simple battery, family violence, and $500 for the hindering. In addition to no further contact with the victim or the child in this case, we're going to ask for a stay away from the incident location of 3379 Stone Road Southwest, because the victim did indicate that that was her location. However, since she stated that she did not want to prosecute, but given the nature of the offenses, we're going to ask for that. In addition to a one-day anger awareness, no alcohol, drugs, and weapons, and no further violations of Georgia law. Nothing further from the state.
All right. And this didn't, okay, this happened in, was it
in July, Your Honor? Early July, I believe, according to what it was stated.
It happened at Stone Road, if I'm.
Yes,
that is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, I thought it happened out further. Okay, go ahead. Yes, Ms. McLeod.
Your Honor, my client is 33 years old. He has been living in the Metro Atlanta area for more than 5 years. He has some college education and he is gainfully employed. He has one child who is the 5-year-old that he shares with the complaining witness. My client denies the allegations of the warrant and what was stated by the prosecutor. He said he has always shared in parenting his daughter, and his daughter, who stays with him most of the time, was with her mom, and he had been calling all day trying to get a hold of mom so he could pick his daughter up, and there had been no response. So when he got there, they got into an argument, but he denies that he hit her or slammed her in any way, Your Honor. But he admits that they had an argument, but he said nothing like that happened. So given the fact that my client does not have any violent history, Your Honor, he has not been in any trouble in the state of Georgia except something traffic related, I would ask the court to give him a signature bond, given the time also when it happened. I gather that the victim is not in the least bit afraid of my client, and they continue to share this child, Your Honor. I would ask the court to give him a signature bond. It can be conditioned on no further contact between them. My client is okay with third party transfer of their child.
And they are not married, right?
They are not married, Your Honor.
Okay. On the simple battery,
and they don't live together.
The obstruction of making person for making emergency phone calls, 500. Total bond is set at 2,000. It is a surety bond. No further contact with. I'm sorry, I wrote down everything else but the name.
Pamela
Pamela
Davis.
Sorry,
Pamela Davis.
Pamela Davis.
Pamela
Yes,
Davis.
Davis.
Davis, okay. No further contact with Pamela Davis, no alcohol, no illegal drugs, no weapons, and no firearms. No further contact with the minor child in question unless he files a legitimation action in the appropriate superior court and gets a court order to establish visitation and custody so that there won't be any question as to when he may be able to exercise visitation and custody with the minor child in question. The visitation and custody hopefully will be through a third-party transfer as established by the Superior Court order. But at the present time, there is absolutely no contact between Mr. Anderson, Ms. Davis, and the minor child in question until a Superior Court order says otherwise.
Will there also be a stay away?
There is a stay away, and the only address I have is 3379 Stone Road in
Yes.
Atlanta, Georgia.
My client does not live there, Your Honor, so that we are okay with the stay away.
Yeah, and I have an Alpharetta address for your client, so I'm not certain. Is that a current address?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay. His next court date is going to be September 8th. If he does make bond, then he needs to comply with the conditions of the bond and file that legitimation action if he wishes to see his daughter, and make sure his address is current with us at all times.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
What was
thank you.
the
That
amount for
concludes
the simple
calendar.
battery?
I think that concludes the calendar. Yes, officer? Francois,
was the bond?
Norris?
What
No,
was
that
the
wasn't
amount?
me. That wasn't me, Judge. That wasn't me.
Don't we have one more person? I got one more file.
Let's check.
I have
Who's
Carly
missing?
Taylor.
Your
Carly
Honor.
Taylor position 15 perhaps?
That was accidentally put on the calendar. He was heard yesterday. He already received a bond.
Carlise Taylor was
Okay.
addressed yesterday, yes.
Where's Ghazi?
Kazi bonded out.
Okay. And Judge, how much was that bond that we just did?
I think that's it. Thank you, Francois.
Thank
He's
you.
not here.
Have a good one. Thank
You
you.
too, thank you.
Judge,
All right, attorneys, let's go over the calendar. Position 1, Alexander is a $2,000 surety bond. Reset date is September 8th. Position 2, Allen is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial, and that's going to
Judge.
be further notice. Position 3, Anderson's a $2,000 surety bond, reset September 8th. Position 4,
I thought
Cummings
that's
is a
2,500,
3,500
I got 2,000 for number 3.
for who?
For number 3, could you do the breakdown again? We couldn't hear
Oh,
you.
sorry,
It broke up.
1,500 on the simple battery and 500 on the obstruction.
okay.
2,000 surety bond. Cummings, position 4 is 3,500 signature bond through pretrial for the notice. 5, Edward Rogers is a split bond, 3,000 split, $1,000 surety on the DUI and 2,000 signature bond on the open alcohol. Positions, reset date September 8th. Position 6, Fry is a $1,000 surety, reset September 8th. Position 7, Green is a $1,500 surety, September 8th. Henderson is a $1,500 surety, September 8th. Position 9, Howell is a 1,500 surety. Oh, excuse me, Howell is a 500 signature bond through the jail, released to DeKalb County authorities. Position 10, Ingram is a $2,000 surety, September 8th. 11, Lawhorn is a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial with a co-signer, Nautica Bryant. Reset date is further notice. Position 12, Roberts is a $1,500 split bond. Reset date is September 8th. Position 13, Sabah is a $3,000 surety. Reset date is September 8th, subject to a evaluation or an interview with at least with the social worker. Position 14 is a $4,500 split, 3,500 surety and $1,000 signature bond through the jail is the breakdown. Position 15 was.
Is there a reset
just
date for that, Your
yesterday.
Honor?
16 is $1,500 surety bond, reset September 8th.
Reset for what date?
corrections?
On position 14, I had the reset date as the SAP calendar on September the 8th.
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
know who asked that. Okay.
There was
September
one
8th,
more where there
yes.
was no reset date given. I believe it was position. I believe it was position 9. Was there a reset date for that?
Position 9, I am showing that it's gonna be
No,
reset
it's a
further
signature
notice.
bond through the jail, so there's no reset date, it's just further notice. But
Thank you.
his caveat is a release to DeKalb authorities.
Thank you.
All right, but position 14 is reset date of September 8th. Is that correct, Holly?
14 is reset to September 8th. That is
Okay.
correct.
Thank you.
All right, any further corrections or clarifications?
Are you here tomorrow?
I'm doing civil tomorrow, so
You
hopefully I don't put anyone in jail on the civil calendar, okay?
Hopefully not.
All right, everyone, take care. I'll see you all
Thank you.
very soon. Enjoy, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good day, Judge.
Judge.